Aaron recently wrapped his Out on the Town tour, which was 32 dates in only 2 months that went right across Canada. He brought Kira Isabella and David James on the road with him. And if you attended any of the shows or followed along watching their Insta stories, you know it was quite the party. Aaron, what would you say was the best part of the tour?
Oh, you know what? I can't even pinpoint one specific date or time or anything like that. It was just the entire tour itself was incredible from start to finish, all the way from Vancouver Island all the way out to Nova Scotia, and in between we had places that I've never played before, like in Quebec, for example. To have people come out to these shows and sing along to these songs and just blow my mind with every show.
How'd you keep your energy up?
No, that was the weird. I thought I'll get gassed pretty quickly. It'll probably show eventually as we go on, but I just seemed to get more and more energy as we moved on. When it was nearing the end, you just know that you get to go home soon. During the day, my energy level was pretty low, but as soon as I got on stage, it jumped right back up to where it was for every show. Wow.
I was thinking about what it must be like, because I have seen your dates, and there are a lot that run back to back. And I was...
Oh, man.
They get you working. I was thinking how it must be on the bus and what your day-to-day routine must be like for those 2 months. And I don't think that I would necessarily be the most pleasant to be around.
There was a lot of back-to-back dates. We did 9 in a row in Ontario. They were all spread apart. But you know what? Living on a bus with 10 other people over 6.5 weeks was not near as bad as I was expecting it to be. It wasn't bad at all, as a matter of fact. It was incredible. We all became a family really quickly. And even with Kira and her girl, who we didn't really know that well, we instantly became a tight-knit group and understood each other's little isms right away. And there are times where you want to be alone, but that's the great thing about the bus is there was places you could go. For the most part, we all hung out together. We're all kindred spirits, so it was easy enough to hang out together.
When you weren't on stage performing, rehearsing, or doing interviews, or sleeping, try to squeeze that in every now and then.
Yeah, absolutely.
What did you guys do for fun?
We did lots of different things. We went skating a ton. Brought our skates and sticks and all kinds of things that we needed to take advantage of this frozen tundra that we were traveling across. We managed to get in some skating all over just about every province. Although David James hurt his shoulder pretty badly, and we got to take advantage of a pastime that is a true Canadian thing to do.
That's awesome. Great team building there.
Yeah, it was.
Can you share something about Kira and David that we might not know?
Yeah, well, I could probably say lots, but things I probably shouldn't be saying. The one thing about Kira and David is that they're both professionals. They know exactly what they're doing when it comes to being on stage and putting on a show. The coolest thing about both of them is they have amazing sense of humor. You have to have that because we're all a little warped, I have to admit. It was just an incredible experience to be able to go out with 2 artists who are pretty well known and have it all work perfectly. So it worked out extremely well.
That's awesome. Your current single, Better When I Do, has a visually stunning music video to go with it. And the video before that, too, Worth a Shot, was very creative. It told a story, featured Jillian Harris from The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Love It or List It, Vancouver, as well as her fiance and her cousin.
Yep.
So how do you stay inspired?
I have a team come up with really great ideas, and it starts with Jesse Shirk, who's always throwing ideas. And then obviously you take it to the director. Cole Northey is the guy who did the last 4 or 5 videos of mine, and he's open. You get those creative juices flowing, and then I start trying to think of as much as possible. But the team of people like that are behind you 100% that want to see your success grow. Not only that, that you're trying to come up with the most interesting ideas for videos, for example, or imaging when it comes to photo shoot, doing things on stage or off stage. You got to have those people giving you some advice and input that, and I try and keep as inspired as I can. And then I kind of look at other artists as well, and the newer artists and the younger artists, and what sort of things they're doing, and how I'd like to try and keep up with them. So it's always a constant process of thinking.
Yeah, I imagine being in this for so long, trying to stay creative and bring your stories to life.
Exactly.
So how did you become friends with Jillian?
That was a thing that Jesse figured out. Jillian was talking about doing an event and was thinking, well, why don't I get a musician to come and play for us? And Jesse had seen this and went, hey, why don't we see if she's interested in having you there? And I said, wow, she won't know who I am. It's Jillian. She's a big star. And sure enough, one thing led to another. Jesse got a hold of Jillian's people. And then as soon as we met, we got a closer really fast. What I thought was going to happen is we're going to do this event for the half hour, go home, and then before you knew it, it's 4 o'clock in the morning and we're still partying. And since then, we've just been really tight to the point where we're even talking about buying another house up where they live.
I saw those Insta stories, and I know which event you're talking about. Mamas for Mamas.
That's exactly right.
And definitely nobody would know that was your first time hanging out.
Yeah. But yeah, the Mamas for Mamas is such a great charity. I think it's going to grow into something national. I would hope people would look deeper into that.
Yeah, I think that it's a great organization. It's interesting how Jillian can intertwine it in there and draw more attention to it naturally. Speaking of social media, you're very active on there, and you seem to genuinely enjoy using it.
I sure do, yeah. I love it.
However, with the good comes the bad, and everybody has their frustrations. What has been your biggest pet peeve about it?
There's a few different things. It is tough to keep up, and some days you just don't really feel like doing it. Actually, it tends to make me feel better when I do. That was not meant to happen, I swear. But there's people on there that want to throw negative comments, and that's fine. That's an opinion that you can have, and that's the beauty of life, is you have the choice to not listen. That's the case. I don't listen to the negative comments, and I look at all the positive ones, and I try and respond, and I try and interact with as many people as possible.
I guess, too, what sets you away, you've already been a well-established artist, and social media has slowly been introduced to you. You're not a 14-year-old singer who's attached to her phone and is still growing up.
Yeah, I got into social media when Twitter was still kind of new. I really got hooked on it, but Instagram has turned into something pretty amazing. But I'm not glued to my phone, which is awesome.
Yeah. So you recently posted a bunch of adorable photos of your wife, Jess, and yourself for your 18th anniversary. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
These were some pretty interesting pictures, but not surprising for those that know you. Seems like you really found somebody to keep up with your energy and your wit.
Yeah, well, we met a long time ago, and that was one of the things that we definitely had in common, our sense of humor. We seem to be on the same page even to this day. Just be goofy. That's really what it's all about.
Yeah. So did she join you on the road for Out on the Town tour?
Yeah, actually she did, just the very end leg.
That's awesome. So speaking of social media and family, you have been fairly private about your son. Can you give us a little bit of an update about him?
Jordan, the oldest boy, I have 3.
Oh,
and,
see?
Yeah,
you keep them tucked away. How old are they all now?
16, 22, and Jordan is 28.
Oh my goodness.
So Jordan and Danielle, his girlfriend, have started a country duo. So he played with Faber Drive, which was a pop band, but now he's doing a duo with his girlfriend called Cross Parallel, which is brand new, and I think in the next 5 years, everybody's going to know exactly who they are.
That's awesome. Looking forward to that. It's nice to see that you're supportive of his musical career and not try to push him away just because of maybe some experiences that, you might have encountered or heard of.
Yeah, I've been through a lot of stuff in the industry, and instead of going, well, you know what, you don't want to be a part of this industry, I say, okay, do it, but let me help you in some ways and give you advice and mentor you. You don't have to go through a lot of pitfalls and the speed bumps if you make the right decisions that I didn't possibly back then.
Right.
I think it's great that he wants to be a part of this music industry, and I don't tell him not to. Actually, all 3 boys are now into music. Braden and Mason, they're writing songs and recording hip-hop music. Of course, I'm bragging because I'm their dad. I think they're all going to be successful in music, and I don't tell them to not do it.
That's great that you are supporting them. And when we first met, I remember you gave me some great advice about self-confidence. Did you have any insecurities when you were younger and getting into it?
Absolutely. You're full of insecurity when you're first in the industry. And how do I look? In movement on stage, do I look stupid? Do I sound stupid? Is my mouth moving funny?
Really?
Oh, yeah, constantly. And I still go through all that. I'm very confident in my show, but at the same time, there is parts of it where I'm like, is the crowd okay with what I'm doing? There's a lot of that insecurity that you still go through. You just have to be able to push through it. I'm here for a reason. This is what I love to do, first of all. Secondly, I'm going to do this to my best ability. And you get to talk to these people who, after a show, and they're saying, that was such a great show. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, they're not liking this at all.
Yeah.
You got to be able to find a way to take as much positivity out of everything that you do. It's what I always try and stick to.
Yeah, good advice there. So your current EP, Out on the Town, is now available everywhere. It features Worth a Shot and your current single, Better When I Do. What is another favorite of yours?
Oh, I can't pick one. I think personally, my one favorite is the one that I wrote with Patricia Conroy and Dave Thompson, both Canadians, called 8 Stressin'. Top Shelf is another one that I just love, and was a song that I found early on. And Out on the Town, I fought to get for about 3 years.
Wow.
Old Dominion wrote that. When I first heard it, I wanted to put it on hold, and they said the guys from Old Dominion want to record the song. That's too bad. And then 2 years later, I hadn't heard the song. The publisher said, no, actually, they didn't record it. So I asked for permission. It just all worked out. But there's so many of these songs on this EP that I feel could be released. There's no one favorite in particular, really.
Alrighty. So for those of us that aren't into the music industry, some people might wonder why release an EP opposed to a full-fledged album.
What we like to do these days is do a little six-pack. I still call it an album. Industry standards, technically, quote-unquote. It's iTunes that's sort of dictating what an EP is. So if I get nominated for a Juno, it's considered an album. 6 songs is an album to them. But anyway, putting out 6-packs like this is easy to do because you can give them 4 songs to release to radio and then an extra couple album cuts, and that takes up the way of the world is so much different than putting out an album of 10 to 12 songs and then 3 years later coming out with another album. It's the landscape's changing of the music industry, and you have to ride with it. It's sad when you have to release a quote-unquote album digitally as opposed to on a tangible physical CD. You can still buy one at a show, but barely anywhere else, which is sad. And if that was the case, I'd still be doing 10 to 12 song albums. 6-packs is the way to go right now for me. And people are liking it too. It also gives them something visually different every year and a half instead of being 3 years. I think with the short attention span that is getting worse by the year, you got to give them something new all the time.
I've talked about this before about how there seems to be no rules now. You can release as many as you like at a time, or drop an album out of nowhere, push for a new single every month if you'd like. Makes the playing field unequal but equal at the same time.
Yeah, there is no rules. Just do it and release it. But on Spotify, for example, you could release 25 songs at one time if you want. There's no rhyme or reason of how people are listening. It's all just a matter of what you feel is necessary or what your budget is. That's the other thing.
We've seen Canadian country artists, when they start to see a rise in their career, many move to Nashville. How come you decided to stay?
I had an opportunity in my mid-20s, but I didn't think that was the right move. I had 2 kids at that point, and I didn't feel like making the move with my kids down to basically a foreign country for them. And I wanted to bring my boys up as Canadian kids.
Playing hockey?
Playing hockey, yes. Yeah, street hockey. And although Nashville's really turned into quite a surprisingly big hockey town.
Yes, that's true.
It's still not your street hockey sort of mentality for kids. But I made the decision I don't want to do that. I just want to stay here. I love Canada, and we'll see what happens with my career up here. And eventually it took off and did some really great things, obviously. But I see so many artists going down there, making the big move. Some of them having success, but for the most part, most of them don't. They have success in Canada, which is great, but they live in Nashville, which is really hard to do, to try and have a Canadian country music career and then trying to make it in the state and not having it actually happen. I think it's worked out really well, and I'm extremely proud to still live in British Columbia. I'll never move away.
I've gone to the BC CMA websites, and oh my goodness, I don't know how many other people's names are listed as much as yours are.
I did some things right, I guess, over my career, and I also got a little lucky. I never forget these moments where I just wanted to win one award and be like, I won an award at the BCCMAs, and I feel like that's an accomplishment. Here it is, my name's on the list. 38 times the most awarded BC artist ever. Like I said, I just wanted that one award, or even to be nominated at one point. When other BC artists say, you inspired me, that's really cool. And Jojo Mason, I remember having a conversation with Dallas before he got into the Canadian country, and he's like, I really want to do it, but at the same time, are people going to like it? And I'm like, man, you're going to do incredibly well. And then sure enough, he turns into Dallas Smith, the big star.
Yeah.
It was nice to be a part of that beginning part. I'm so happy that I could have been somewhat of a small inspiration in any way for them to want to do it.
So you've given the boost of confidence talk to quite a few of us.
Yeah.
So just a few quick questions here, kind of random and fun. You like Netflix?
I am a huge Netflix fan.
What are you currently enjoying?
Well, actually, I thought I was going to be watching a lot of Netflix on the tour, but I didn't watch not one episode of anything. But I got right into a whole bunch of different things. I watched all of Fargo episodes. I watched all of the Narcos seasons. I finally sat down and watched Breaking Bad, which I was blown away by, and it took me forever to become a part of that train. Yep. Season 3 of Ozark I'm waiting for, and I really loved Norseman. It was super funny. It was this Viking era based. You got to see it. It's way funnier than I ever expected it to be. And then I'm currently watching Santa Clarita Diet.
Okay. Yeah, it's nice sometimes to have a good lighthearted comedy show mixed into all of those serious ones.
It's kind of gross, gruesome, and gory, but at the same time, it's really funny.
Okay. I will definitely check those out. And you have quite a few tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
How many?
10, I think. but I'm going to be getting more. I just don't know when and what.
Okay.
It's going to be the right thing.
Yeah. Which is your favorite and which do you regret?
I don't regret not a single one of them. My favorite are my ones on my arms, my two guitars. They're my fraternal twins, I call them. They're both guitars that I played from Gibson. When I was wanting to get them, they were only going to be about maybe 4 inches tall. And I talked to my tattoo guy and he said, why don't you get them right from your wrist up to your elbow band? It's like, I don't know. And then he put the stencil on my arm. I said, yep. Do it. That looks really good. I don't regret them for a second.
So now that your tour is over, are you eager to relax at home or are you planning on going on vacation?
I'm going to be relaxing for the first little while, but business as usual. I've got lots of interviews because the single's doing so well, right? Besides that, I've got a few other events that I'm doing. I'm on the Vancouver Canuck alumni hockey team, so we have a game and then we're playing this event for the Canuck Country Rocks, and it's going to be myself and Jojo Mason and Canuck alumni guys are there. And then other than that, I'm going to go visit a buddy that's celebrating a birthday, and I don't get back to playing again until around May, which is nice. It's nice to have the time off.
It doesn't sound like much time off.
Compared to this tour,
yeah,
it is.
True.
It's going to be a real break.
Well, thank you for joining us, Aaron. I've been looking forward to this interview for a while, and congratulations on a successful tour. I had a great time seeing it.
That's awesome. Great to hear.
And don't forget to check out Aaron's current single, Better When I Do, and his new EP, Out on the Town. It was great chatting with you, Aaron, and I wish you all the best.
Thanks, Alexa. Talk to you again soon.